This is Super Yacht News with E. Sisman.
Hi, welcome back to the channel. So a 56-metre British flagged sailing yacht sank off the coast of Palermo in Sardinia at dawn this morning. The vessel, which was described as being at anchor by an eyewitness near to land, was caught out by extremely bad weather with 22 people on board. Now, there were believed to be 10 crew on board and 12 guests. Now, it's believed one of the people rescued is under a year old and has been transported to a local hospital. Now, 15 people in total have been rescued from the water. Actually, they were in a life raft from the yacht. We have an eyewitness account of the captain of the vessel who rescued the people from that life raft. I'm going to play that shortly. But there's unfortunately been one fatality. I think they brought a body up from the vessel itself, and there are still 6 people missing at the time of recording. Now, the Italian Coast Guard and firefighters are involved in rescue operations. The firefighters have a dive team, I believe. Now, the vessel sank in the Sea of Santa Flavia, just half a mile from the coast in the Porticello area. Operations currently happening with search and rescue, and also the firefighter divers, as I mentioned, who are searching the vessel for people who are still missing. Now, the waters are very calm right now with the search is going on. Obviously, they've searched the water for people in the water, and they've not found anybody so far, and they believe that, unfortunately, they're most likely still in that vessel. There are other people involved, military police or the Carabinieri, and civil protection are also involved as well. The sea conditions have improved, like I said, a lot since last night. We've got some footage here from a security camera in Palermo that shows you how the wind suddenly started and the rain suddenly came so quickly. This is a large sailing yacht, 56 meters, which is about 180 feet, to be caught out like this. Now, the eyewitness account of the incident, he was talking about how he was positioning his vessel because of the wind and how he was making sure that they didn't hit the vessel behind them. And then after the storm had got passed by and they looked, the vessel behind them had disappeared. I'll play that for you now.
And this morning we got this very strong orkan gust. Yeah. And we had to start the engine to keep the ship in an anchor position, and we watched the ship behind us not to touch them. Yeah. And we managed to keep the ship in position, and after the storm was over, we noticed that the ship behind us was gone. Okay. And then we saw a red flare. Yeah. So my first mate and I went to the position, and we found this life raft. Yeah. Drifting.
But anything inside?
With 15 people inside.
15 people
15
inside.
people inside. 4 people injured, 3 heavy injured. Yeah. And we brought them to our ship. And then we communicated with the Coast Guard, and after some time the Coast Guard came, and later they picked injured people, and when 2 hours later they picked up the other people. I think it was a gust of 12 It's a strong orkan gust, very strong, very strong. And we have been healing also a lot. Yeah. But the other ship, strange enough, it's 55 meters, I think, with a 72 meters long mast. They went flat on the water, yeah, and then down. So once in a with a light, we saw that the ship was aside, and then we saw a triangle. So I think she went back. Okay. Down.
Terrible moments.
Yes, and in the life raft was also a little baby, and the wife of the owner.
Now, the majority of people on board are said to be English, but there's a New Zealander, a man from Sri Lanka, Irishman, and 2 Anglo-French also were on board. Another vessel, the vessel that was anchored nearby, who rescued the 15 survivors, handed them over to the Coast Guard when they arrived on scene in a patrol boat. Now, the sailing yacht is named Bayesian. It's built by Perenni Navi in the Viareggio shipyard in Italy, had an aluminium hull. The vessel was built in 2008, originally named Health, and then the current owner, who's also missing, took ownership of the vessel in 2020 after the vessel was refitted in the shipyard and renamed to Bayesian, obviously. And the yacht could carry 12 guests in 6 cabins and up to 10 crew members. The owner is the British tech entrepreneur Mike Lynch, and he is, like I said, he's still missing after the sinking. Mr. Lynch's wife is amongst those who were rescued by the neighbouring vessel. The emergency services have been seen carrying a body bag to shore after local media reported a man's body had been recovered from the wrecked yacht. The Coast Guard issued a statement before the body was discovered saying that there were currently 7 people missing, 1 crew member and 6 passengers of British, American and Canadian nationality. Now, one of the passengers who survived the sinking described how she had to hold her 1-year-old daughter above her head. A British woman who'd been talking to La Repubblica said, "I held my baby above my head with all my strength, my arms stretched upwards to keep her from drowning." Now, there's one discrepancy we've noticed. That the report said that the vessel was at anchor. We've noticed that the AIS, the last known position on AIS, says the vessel was underway at the time. Now, it might not be important. It could be that they forgot to change the AIS to at anchor. It could be that the vessel was using dynamic positioning, so they were not technically at anchor, so they're classed as underway. I don't know what that means. I just wanted to point out the fact that it says, the last known position said the vessel was underway at the time. So they could have headed into that bay to try and get out of the way of that storm. So yeah, very sad situation here. Already had 1 fatality. It's not looking great for the rest because, like I said, it's very calm there. They were inland, basically, in that bay, and not very far from the shore. So let's hope that they do find some survivors. It's not impossible that they could find some survivors inside the vessel in an air pocket or something like that, which is most likely why they've been searching the vessel all day. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. If you've got any information about this, if you've got any video or any photos or anything like that, if you were there on one of these vessels, please be sure to get in touch. You can get us in the email address and the ticker, and you can get us on Instagram and Facebook Messenger and Twitter and all that stuff. All right, guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch up with you soon. Bye-bye.